You are live. Good evening, Boomland. It's the Munchin Burger time. That's what it is, Steve.
That's right. That's right. Corny as it can get. I'm a corny guy. I always got something corny, you know.
That's right. I agree with you. So you are live. Good evening, Boomland. We waiting on Sumner. He was in a little traffic, and we're gonna.
I can hear that in the background.
Yeah, I'm cutting it out.
Okay, I got
you. Yeah. So basically, we're gonna be waiting on Sumner to chime in. He ran into a little traffic, but he'll be here shortly. Shouldn't be no more than 5-10 minutes. He join us. So we just gonna go over. We both went out to Houston to bowl the NDO tournament, and what's your thoughts on the tournament, Steve?
I really enjoyed it. That was my first tournament. Breck, we're going to get to your question here in just a second. I do see it. I'm not ignoring you. I had a good time. It was my first tournament traveling over to Houston for an NDO tournament. I have bowled, I think, 1 or 2 over here, but I have not as experienced doing the NDO tournaments as a lot of other people that have done it. And so it really gave me a good chance to really see how good Omar does running the tournaments. He does great. You can tell he's a busy person. You know, I definitely tried not to bother him too much, but I thought he did great. You know, he had a great turnout. I know that part of it is due to lack of other things going on, but the other part of it also is he's providing a competitive atmosphere that a lot of people are craving. So it was a good time. You know, before we headed over there, we seen the type of players that were going to be there. You know, and personally, I think most people would agree. I like that. You bring in some good competition. I'll look even more forward to go to it. You know, maybe that's not the right way to think. I don't know, but that's the way I am. If I see good competition, I can't wait.
That's right. And it's an opportunity, you know what I'm saying? I just like the opportunity to be able to compete on that type of platform, you know what I'm saying? It's not too often that you get a chance to strap up with some of these guys. You see them on TV, you see how well they perform on patterns, and you know, you kind of measure yourself, and it's going to be hard to beat them because that's what they do on a daily basis, where, you know, we kind of work and your practice is limited and such. But, you know, hopefully it all come together. I threw the ball I practiced a lot last week trying to prepare for it, but with the big layoff due to COVID, I just couldn't consistently you know, execute.
Right. It'll come.
Yeah, especially the first day. It was like, you know, you to me, you had to really be, you know, real consistent. It was tight for me on the
longer pattern. The longer pattern made it a little more difficult for a lot of people. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I enjoyed it, and I fought, and I got back to -3 after 140 and a 160 game. So I felt good about that. And then warm-ups for doubles, I was just like, I can compete on this.
Right.
I can miss a little bit in, I can miss a little bit out. Yeah.
Well, you matched up a lot better on that.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't want to go too far without kind of addressing some of these questions. Brett Cup wants to know what happened to your hair.
Well, tell him Tuesday in the bowling alley. Well, that was Monday. Monday night, me and Brett Cup bowled together, and I looked across and I said, damn, he must get out the shower, take some gel, and just whoosh his hair to the side. I think I can do that. So I got home late from work, rushing to try to get to the interview. I said, oh, look at some gel. Got out the shower. Woo.
So you gave it the Brett Cup look.
All right. This is my Brett Cup look.
It don't work for me. The other question that come up, Daryl Bean. I know, Munch, you never met Daryl. He asked, with the COVID mess, how much does it affect tournaments down there? First of all, just so you know who Daryl is, he's one of the, what I like to jokingly, but seriously say, one of the original 3 of Boom Bowling there in Illinois, where it all started. Daryl, I've known him since he was 6, 7 years old. Anyway, we've been friends for a long time, and he's part of that original starting this whole Boom Bowling thing. But anyway, Daryl asked, with the COVID mess, how much does it affect the tournaments down here? It affects it. Having said that, from what I hear up there, Daryl, probably not affecting it as bad as it is up there. We are having some tournaments. We kind of got to be looking for them, and willing to travel a little bit, but they are happening. This past weekend, we just talked about what we did over in Houston. We had to wear masks. They had to break up the squads into 2 because there were so many people, and they wanted to try to help the bowling alley out with not trying to keep too many people cramped up, and so that's how they dealt with it. There are some other people that are wanting to run some tournaments, but they're kind of holding off for now. They're kind of just paying attention. So there are things to bowl, but they're a little bit more stretched out. You know what I mean? So, and Jimmy Wallison says, "Sorry again, Stephen. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get to that too, Jimmy." As we were talking about with the tournament, you said you went over there. You bowled singles, you bowled doubles. For those of you who don't know, it was singles on Saturdays, doubles on Sunday. Singles on Saturday, the pattern was a little longer. Doubles, the pattern was a little shorter. Me and Jimmy bowled together in doubles, and he's saying sorry, but what I keep telling him, everyone has bad moments. If you try to pretend you've never had a bad moment, you're lying, or you've never competed. So everyone has bad moments. There was several times throughout the doubles tournament that thankfully he was bowling good, because I kind of fell off a little bit. He picked me up, and then when he fell off, I picked him up. Unfortunately, one of his bad moments was at the end there, but dude, it happens. It didn't bother me one bit. It is what it is. I'm glad we finished 7th. Could have been worse. So it's all good. We could have got to that spot.
So Justin V said, "Where's the lefty that brings 30 balls to lead?" I heard a knock at the door, so I don't know. Maybe that's him. Let's see if we can see who that is.
Hello.
Sumner.
What up? What up? What up?
I'm gonna give you some kisses.
Wrong way.
You're right, you're right, or you're right, you're left, you're right.
Didn't know that until just now.
Yeah. Hey,
what up, boys?
Give me a kiss.
How you doing, sir?
I'm good. And you?
How you managing with everything that's going on, man?
We're doing good, man. Just having to take it one day at a time.
Yeah.
And figure out what the best way to manage for yourself and everyone else, and keeping as many people safe as possible. I'm a lot more safe than probably most people my age, but it's just my parents had a scare with the corona. We didn't have it, but as a family, we've decided to be very safe. And so some people think I'm crazy. That's fine. I don't mind.
You are kind of crazy.
I mean, I understand that, but sorry I'm a little late. I think it's expected with me, but hey. I'm here now.
Beverly Wells said, look at them dimples. White chocolate in the building.
Whoa. I can't get in the right spot.
And that's my base, so I want to know what's going on. I think get a hiring private investigator here.
Yeah. Hey, so we had some things. I had some things I wanted to bring up. If you're ready for me to get into that much.
Yeah, go ahead. Shoot,
All right. So Sumner, for those of you that don't know you, Sumner is very involved in Louisiana, whether it be leagues, tournaments, whatever. Where I'm from, we kind of had a guy he reminded me of, Al Pote, always working on putting squads together. helping people out doing that work. And for those of you that have never tried to put a squad together, I promise you it's work. Okay. Sumner's that guy. I know it is. Sumner's that guy. It's always, he don't even, nobody go, people don't go, hey, Sumner, will you do that? No, he's already on it. He's already getting it done. He's coming to you, putting it all together, and it is work. But the first thing I wanted to talk about is your pro shop.
Okay.
You run a pro shop over in Gonzales at Premier. And kind of what I was wanting to start with, maybe, is your background on drilling, how long you've been doing it, and what made you get into that.
So when I was, teenager, early 20s, I worked for Old Navy retail, and I enjoyed it. I did that for 4 years, but I had an opportunity to one of my bosses, their husband worked for Kentwood Water, delivering water, and they made a lot more money than I was at retail. So I moved over there, and I worked there for 4 years, and then I hurt my back at work, and that was, life changing. I'm young and dumb and thinking I'm going to do this forever, and I went to college for 1 year, didn't have a degree or anything like that. So then, there wasn't much I could do for a little while because I was hurt. And then Steve Cross at All Star Lanes asked me to come help when his wife was sick. She was a girlfriend at the time, but when she was sick, asked me to come help watch the shop when he had to go to the hospital and stuff like that. So I started watching the shop, and just at the beginning, it was just like if you had to go to a hospital. I lived across the street from All Star, and I just went like for an hour or two or 3 or 4. And then I started working like once a week when he bowled league. And then so I worked for him part-time for 4 years. And then I had an opportunity in 2012. Randy Summers, Rusty Bethley was selling the pro shop at Metro Bowl. And Randy Summers and a couple other guys were interested in like buying it and having me run it maybe. And at that point, I never was interested in like the bowling ball side of it. I just wanted to throw balls. I told the pro shop, the pro shop, I want a ball to do this, buy whatever one you want, pick whatever one you want and drill it however you want. I never was interested in that aspect of it, but I always kind of wanted to own my own business. And so push came to shove, me and Randy ended up going into business together in 2012, and it was the greatest decision of my life. I love my job. I love going to work every single day. There are very rarely few days where I don't like doing what I'm doing. And
you mean tell me you miss those 5-gallon tubs?
I do not miss those. I miss the paychecks. All the guys that worked at Kentwood, we always talked about we only liked our job every other Friday when that check came in.
Right.
The other 9 days of the two work week was not fun.
Right.
But on payday, it was fun. We liked our job. But so we were at Metro Bowl for 1 year, man, and it was great. I loved Metro Bowl. Everybody loves Metro Bowl. And, I had plans, and, we always knew that Metro might close. They told us when we came into the shop that it was 2 or 3 years down the line. It wasn't like right away. Well, it was right away. We closed. We officially closed like 362 days after we opened, and we had an opportunity to move to Premier, which is owned by the same company. We had a couple different opportunities. They were going to buy us out, and so we wouldn't lose any money. They felt bad about it, but we moved to Premier, and we didn't know what it was going to do. It was a brand new bowling alley, 6 months old. No one knew, if there were going to be leagues. They had started some leagues, but they were small, and everybody was new bowlers. And it's just grown, and we've grown with it. And we've been there 7 years now, so I've been in business for 8 years now. And man, I love it. I love my job. I'm happy.
That's awesome. Not a lot of people can say that.
No,
I won't comment on whether I like my job or not. Some my luck, the wrong person might hear it, and then I have to answer questions. So we'll just leave that alone, personally. But I'm glad you're able to do that. I know I tried to run a pro shop there for a little while, and not a people person, I don't think.
No, I can't. I don't see that.
I won't put you on the spot, but let's just say sometimes it's difficult for me, and so I give credit to those that can do it to deal with public. Dealing with people I knew, that was easy. Dealing with people I didn't know, it was a little difficult. So it can be.
I've always been a people person. People that know me know I can have my moments where I'm a little bit of an a-hole or whatever, but like I'm a pretty nice guy for the most part. And like, I love people. I love dealing with people. I like helping people. I mean, right now, ever since I own the pro shop, it's become more of a badge of honor to help somebody bowl good versus me bowling good. I'm left-handed. I just close my eyes and throw the ball and throw a strike. But like, if I can help that 170 average bowler, shoot their first 250 or, the 190 average. We just had a guy at Premier, the first night back from the COVID shutdown, bowled a 300. He has like a 185, 190 average, never bowled a 300 in his life. That makes me feel good. I drilled that ball and, I did good enough that he, could shoot 300. And so I like that.
And I'm kind of kidding you here, but so do you like it whenever so if they bowl good and they say, man, I bowled really good, but if they bowl bad, they come to you and say, man, you messed this ball up.
I actually like, a lot of people will say like, oh, you didn't do anything wrong, but I'll say you can always blame the ball driller. None of that bothers me, man. It rolls off my back. I don't mind when people come up to me in league and, complain or, give me credit or anything like that. I'm a pretty easygoing guy overall. I think most people that know me.
So you probably post this score in your pro shop, huh?
That's right.
Oh yeah, I used to post every honor score.
What I did this guy, and then the other.
I had a hole in the ball wall of fame, and up until about 2015, I posted every honor score that I had drilled the ball, but I haven't kept up with. Mostly now, I keep up with it on Facebook. I put it on the pro shop Facebook page. As they shoot an honor score, stuff like that, but it's not on the wall anymore.
That's cool. That's on the Facebook wall. You're gonna need more walls.
Exactly. Yeah. As I got better drilling the balls, they shot more honor scores.
Yeah. Okay, so I noticed on the shirt there, it looks like you have your logo on your shirt, right? Yeah. The corner ball logo right there, right? Yeah, you gotta go opposite, yeah. And then on the other side, what you got over there?
A little storm logo.
So you're Brandon, on staff, right? You're on staff, right?
Brandon Trahan wanted me to have a storm flag right here and a beanie and a hat. He wanted me to be loud and proud.
Damn traffic. Shit.
So I've been on storm staff for about 6 years now, I'd say 5 or 6 years. When I first started in the pro shop business, I wasn't interested in being on staff. Before I started the pro shop business, I wanted to be on staff. I threw exclusively ebonite for 10 years. I had every ebonite only ball, not EBI, like ebonite specific. Every ebonite ball they made, and that was the only thing I threw. And they didn't have to put me on staff because I bought every ball. They didn't want to lose one of their best customers.
Right.
And so anyway, when I started in the pro shop business, I wanted to just try some different things out and not be pigeonholed as the ebonite guy or whatever. And so I didn't, for a year and a half, I guess I didn't throw a lot of man down.
Point down.
I didn't throw a bunch of different brands. I threw I drilled some hammer balls and some ebonite balls, and then I actually had a motive ball, the Forza, the original Forza, the orange and gray one. I bowled 3 300s with that thing in a month and a half. But then Storm Tyler Jensen came for the Juno and gave me a Storm Sink, and I threw that ball and I really liked it. And about a month later, he's like, "Well, what do you think about being on staff with us?" And at that point, I drilled a few more. I drilled a Rain of Power and some other stuff. And so I said, sure, I'll try it. And I have no complaints. Storm is great to me. It has been great for my pro shop. It has been great for my bowling. So I enjoy being on Storm staff. I hope to continue. But I am not of the nature that like a bowling ball makes the bowler. I think a good bowler is going, as long as you get the right layouts and the right surfaces and stuff like that, and a ball is decent or whatever, a bowler is going to adjust and adapt, and they're going to bowl well,
Hey,
with whatever they get.
speaking of adjusting,
I mean, I don't have to. I'm left-handed.
I was gonna say, speaking of adjusting, if your ball, if you let go of the ball, great, and you nail your target, but the ball goes a little high, you gonna move right?
Somebody phone interrupt.
Absolutely. Huh?
You're gonna move right. You ain't gonna change balls.
So I mean, I do as a bowler. Me professionally, I prefer to stay in the same part of the lane and change ball. But like off of one shot, I'm gonna move right. And
I was kind of leading into how many.
I thought you were leading into high flush, but you threw me off with all that.
I was leading into how many bowling balls you bring into league.
All right, so I bring quite a few in the league. Obviously, everyone knows me. We don't even have to talk about it, but we can. I have gotten it down to lately 6. I did bring in 9 last night, and I shot 770 with 2 balls. But I mean, some of the problem is you don't know which ball is going to work that night, and I usually only use 1 or 2 balls, especially if I bowl well. But like if I'm not bowling well, I'm going to use all 9 if I brought them in.
Look, Justin Beach has a question. Can you read that?
Yeah. How do you choose out of the 30 balls you bring in the league that night to decide which one you choose first? Well, I mean, some of it depends on how I bowled the previous week. So like if I bowled well the previous week, I'll start with that ball. But that I'm not like married to that. I'm not married to any ball. So like just because I shot 770 last night with the Rotogrip UFO, I'll try it first next week. But like if I don't see the reaction I want to see, then I'll switch to something else because it's a different night. It's a different pair of lanes. The temperature's different. They oiled at 2 o'clock versus 5 o'clock. So I mean, there's many different changes.
So you're a stone ball gigolo then.
I am. I mean, you should see my trunk. I mean, most people have seen it.
I've seen it.
I literally have 9 times 3. I have 27 balls in the back of my trunk right now.
It's mostly me just teasing you, but I do get a kick out of. You're the only lefty I know that don't have to adjust hardly at all, but has a 40 bowling balls in the back of the truck.
Well, I would rather not adjust. I would rather stay in that spot because I know what that spot of the lane does, and so I would just rather ball down, or if it's wiggly or something, ball up or something like that. Yeah. Kenny Winston is right. I brought 36 balls to
Shreveport and forgot your shoes.
I mean, the number was probably 12, but 100% I forgot my bowling shoes for state tournament. But it wasn't my fault completely. We were riding together with someone else. I was in charge of like moving all the clothes over to the car, and somebody else was moving the bowling balls. And I just assumed that they grabbed all the stuff. And I had a separate bag. It was before book sacks were a thing, but I had a separate bag for my shoes. And it was kind of tucked underneath, and they got left. And I had to bowl in house shoes for state tournament, and that was
True story. I swear I've done that. I don't know whose phone's on. Mine's not, but true story. I literally done the exact same thing. We moved all of our bags in another vehicle. My shoes were in one particular bag.
Yeah. I have it on silent. What's the problem? I don't hear anything.
Yeah, we get some feedback.
Oh, I had my phone holding up the screen so it wouldn't fall again.
Oh, now Steve then. Steve, your phone on silent?
No.
My phone's on silent though.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know either. Anyway, so there's someone who said that. Matter of fact, Daryl Bean, the guy that commented earlier, it was his brother I was going to bowl a doubles tournament with. I had to bowl in house shoes. Well, I wore a regular shoe on my right foot and a house shoe on my left foot. It was not fun.
So the first set I bowled in house shoes, but then Dylan Doge was only bowling one team. So the second team, I used his bowling shoes, but he had like $50 plain shoes, and that was better than a house shoe, but not great. And my bowling suffered due to the shoes.
Yeah.
Are you having an issue with the phone?
I don't know. They're blaming me, I think.
Every time Steve talk, I hear it. I don't know.
Get feedback.
Oh,
I don't. Do y'all hear it though?
I don't really hear it.
Maybe it's just on our end. I don't know. I mean, my phone's not. There's no noise coming out. It's not logged in or nothing.
Can anybody else chime in to see if y'all, if viewers hear any feedback on the line?
It's my laptop,
But anyway, we could keep moving right along.
yeah, I apologize about that. That's me. I don't know what else I can do.
Yeah, they hear it too. Jacob said we hear it.
I mean, I got my tablet up against a computer, but I don't know. I don't think that would do anything.
I hear it when Steve talks, man. Now I hear it when I'm talking now.
Yeah, I think that's most of talking. Really what it boiled down to.
You talking about like that background noise, like it sounds like a TV or?
When I speak,
it's not like a voice what he's saying.
I don't know.
All right, well, let me go on to the next thing here. Hopefully, it's not too distracting. First of all, I want to bring back the squad that you put together. You guys do that all the time. Can you tell us a little bit about the squad? You know, the ones you. Oh, I'm too close. Everything's my fault, man.
Why don't you guys sit on top of the refrigerator?
Yeah, how about that?
Does that help?
I haven't heard it the whole time, so I'm not.
Okay. Is it feeding back now?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's not because I'm too close. Thanks, Michelle. Take some more painkillers. Go back to sleep.
So,
anyway, so you put all kinds of squads together, and you're always putting that together. I know you're putting one together for Florida coming up.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, like 15 years ago, we started going to this, tournament. I mean, we've been going probably 18 years or so now, but go to this tournament, Emerald Coast and Fort Walton. Now this year it's moving towards closer to Pensacola. But Jason Graham used to run it. He used, we had like 5 or 10 guys and we just go. And then, it built up to where it was about 20 people. It was about 10 guys, 10 girls. And then it got a little bigger. And like, he didn't care. They just went to go bowl for fun. I want to win money. And so like, he would just randomly throw people on teams. And so like, I felt like I was one of the better bowlers in the group. So I always want to bowl with the better bowlers to win money. And so I was like, let me put the teams together. Like he got the whole group, but I said, let me make the teams. And so I took over that 1 year making teams. And then the next year he was like, you could just take over it. And so pretty much ever since then, it's mostly a selfish thing. I put teams together because I want to put myself on the best team, but I also like make the best teams for everybody, Is that
why you never put me on your team?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Like the time you changed the rules for bragging rights by making
I broke bragging rights. I did break bragging rights. I was allowed to do something and I did it, and we shot 3,700 scratch, which was outrageously retarded. And I broke bragging rights. So much they didn't even have it this year.
So how that story went though, it was y'all all was from different senates, right?
3 of us were from Baton Rouge, and you could get a sub from another senate. And so I put a team together that said all Baton Rouge people, but I already had known that I had contacted Justin Beach from New Orleans and Denise Lamb from Mississippi and to make the team. And so they subbed in the spots, and then if we shoot 3,300, nobody cares. But we shot 3,700, and everybody cared.
Rule changes come into effect,
and so now you can't have more than one sub from another Senate, and you have to try to find somebody from your Senate like as hard as you can. If there's like the shift's about to start and you can't find anybody from another Senate from your Senate, then you can maybe get another Senate. So anyway, I broke bragging rights, but that's my favorite tournament of all time, all time.
That's definitely up there for me too.
I mean, two of us on this screen have a very good bragging rights memory from Metro Bowl. It might not be so fun memory for one of us.
We don't need well, hey, I did what I control what I can control. So at the end of the day, I can't ask for no more now.
For those that don't know, Baton Rouge was bowling New Orleans in the semifinals, and Munch and I were the anchor bowlers. And the game, it's a 1-game match, and the game was this close. It was literally this close. And
video everything.
It might have been like a 3-pin lead. And so Munch throws the first one, and so then obviously I had to throw the first one, and I didn't throw it good. I tugged it a little bit, and it held, and the light swished everything out. And I come back, and Munch tried to get in my head, and we're both at the fan, putting our hand over the fan, and Munch is like, "You're garbage. You ain't gonna get this one. You ain't gonna get this one. You ain't got it. You ain't got it."
On this one.
And Munch gets a strike, and the crowd goes nuts, and everybody's going crazy. And I got up, and I stone cold smashed it, and it was done. It was done.
And that was back bragging rights was people could be damn near on the lane.
Oh yeah, and they were.
High five, and it was that's the good old days there, boy.
And when I struck on the field ball to lock him out, Alan Cope jumped in my arms and broke my back. But that's my one of my favorite memories of bowling. Period. But that tournament is my favorite tournament.
Hey, Sumner, do me a favor, because I think I figured out what the echo is, and there's a reason why you don't hear it. I could be wrong, but the earpiece that you have in, there's a microphone right here, right? When it's coming through, I think it's reading again into your microphone, and that's why it's coming back over that. Is there any way you can undo that?
What do I need to do?
Just turn the microphone off or unplug it, or can you still talk without it?
Lindsay, can you help? I mean, I don't have like a... Do you have other? I think it's me.
Just unplug it for a second. See, like right now, is it unplugged? Or not? There's no feedback now.
Now it's unplugged.
Okay, so there's no feedback.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're a little bit faded, so maybe if you got a little closer or whatever, but the feedback went away. That's what it was. Anyway, sorry about that, but
that's all right. My bad.
See.
Yeah, it's gonna be me. I know. As Michelle, she in there. She has this procedure done. So she's not feeling too good. I've been trying to take care of her, but she does have some good pain meds going on. Sorry that was too dark for you there, Ian. She knows I'm just giving her she's used to that. I talked, just giving her. It's all in fun. But anyway, so Sumner, I did want to give you a chance to get into the waiting on phase 3, which, by the way, I got to compliment. That was pretty clever.
Yes, very clever.
Very clever.
I'm waiting on phase 3 for real.
Waiting on phase 3, man. Tell us, number one, I want you to hopefully tell us, you got a tournament coming up, when it is, what the squad times are, everything. Tell us about handicap, but I also want to know, like, what made you think to do it? You know what I mean? Have you ran tournaments before? Is this something new for you, or what?
Okay, so I was coming back from. We'll get into the squad times and after, but I was coming back from the SASBA 3 weeks ago. Me and Gregory were riding back together with Lindsay, and been talking to Bowie all weekend, and there's like something to bowl in Texas every weekend.
Yeah,
and so and things are shut down because of the COVID. A lot of tournaments that would have happened in July were canceled back in March, rightfully so. But there's literally like nothing to bowl in Louisiana, minus these small handicap scratch and singles and doubles tournaments in like Alexandria and New Iberia, which aren't exactly, they're kind of off the beaten path, and they're a little bit further away from some of these bigger towns. And so I was like, I've always wanted to get into the tournament business because of the running squads, and I've always been involved with bowling in all aspects, and like to be in control probably. And I've always wanted to run tournaments, and I have some ideas, and this is just COVID related. This isn't like I want to start running like a yearly tournament. I haven't decided on the format. I think I'm close to where it's going to be just like a 5-man team thing. I'm a team bowler. I love team bowling. I'm not huge like singles guy. Like I love doing it with someone else, helping somebody else bowl and win. They help me pick us up, whatever. I love team bowling, which, doubles can be team, trio, whatever. So, we're driving back and I'm like, Gregory, I just want to run something. There's like literally not one tournament in July that I know about to go bowl, without driving to Texas. And so, we start talking it out, and we're just talking about doubles. And, I think I settled on doubles pretty quickly. And I want to do handicap because I'm not going to badmouth these other guys that have run these small little tournaments, but they're running them, they're calling them handicap, but they're running them essentially scratch tournaments. And so like, and that's not who I am. I'm a scratch bowler, but like, I know you can't have bowling without handicap bowlers. You can't have tournaments that are worth anything without a handicap bowler. And so like, if I'm going to run something and I'm going to run it handicap, I'm going to gear it towards a real handicap, And so we talked about, I called everybody that is anybody that I feel like I trust their opinion and thoughts on a tournament or whatever. I talked to Daniel Jackson. I talked to, Mike LaCroix, because it's going to be at his center, and some other people, and just started, I started with a sketch of what I wanted, an idea, and I kind of built off of that. And, initially this tournament started off as an average cap tournament because I didn't want anyone to feel like they, couldn't compete. But then we just settled on the number for an average cap tournament. It's hard to figure out what the right number is, and, there's a decent amount of 220 average bowlers, 225, 230 even, and there's a few outliers that are much higher than that, but like just 1, 2, or 3 that are not going to really skew anything. And so at first I started at 440, and then my friends who are all like 225 average bowlers are like, I don't know. I don't hang out with a bunch of like 205 average bowlers or 195 average bowlers. I'm not going to ask somebody I don't know to bowl a tournament together. And I agreed with them. I agreed with that sentiment. And so then I moved the number up to 460. And pretty much everybody minus like Justin Beach, Juan Costin, and Kurt Dupree could have bowled together. They would have to think a little bit more to find somebody. Well, then I was like, well, why am I even at 460? If that's only going to eliminate 2 or 3 teams, why not just open it up? So then I just decided to open it up, but bump up the handicap a little bit. A lot of people are, complaining about 90% of 230. But like, that's what both leagues I bowl in use. I know not every league use that, but we're have good bowlers in this league, and so it needs to be 90% of 230 if you're going to have good bowlers in that league and have handicapped people be able to compete against them. And so I settled on 90% of 230. And then I did throw the women a little bit of a bone. Some people complained. You're not going to please everybody, whatever you do. I made this tournament to try to please as many people as possible and give people something to bowl. I basically made this tournament because I want something to bowl in the month of July, and I don't have anything to bowl. Now, some people don't like people bowling in their own tournament they're running, and I've been up front. I'm going to bowl in this. I'm not going to bowl every shift. I don't want to win this tournament. Anybody that bowls with me probably doesn't feel great about that, but like I'm okay finishing like second. But I don't want like people to think that I put this tournament on, that I ran it over and won or whatever, anything like that. But like I like to bowl. I like to compete, and so I've always had a great idea of good tournaments. I've bowled so many tournaments. I know what works and what doesn't work. And so, you know, what the premise of what the tournament is now took 3 or 4 days to whittle down to where we're at. And a lot of people I talked to, and when we got to it, and I think it's great. I think it's gonna
win me. I want to take advantage of it.
So anyway, the other thing was I threw a bone to the women and I gave them 100% of 230 because women don't come out to bowl tournaments as much as men do. Men are going to show up regardless. Now, I've gotten some heat from that where they're saying that the women that are going to bowl would have bowled regardless if I gave them 90% of 230 or 100%. But like if it brings out one other woman that wouldn't have bowled, that's another entry that we wouldn't have had. And so there's going to be some heat. And so anyway, so on that side of it, so then I had the handicap is high. I mean, high, it's everybody's used to it. But I decided to do a crossover scratch doubles, which is going to be completely separate. And that was to throw a bone to the scratch bowlers where if they feel like they can't beat the 15-10 or whatever that gets shot eventually or whatever, that they can get with a scratch bowler and they can still win $300 or $400. I don't know. It's all going to depend on the entries, obviously. But like they can still win $300 or $400 for $10 for shooting 1440 or whatever, but they feel like they can't beat 15-10. You understand what I'm saying? So, anyway, the tournament is this weekend. It's July 11th and 12th, Saturday and Sunday. I have 7 shifts. I settled on, all this stuff I thought about over and over. I thought this to death, and we, changed a couple things here and there. And I bet you do, Mervin. And
it's your family. It's your family, Munch. It's your family.
I had to put him out there. Now he's gonna get fussed at.
Got him. So we have 4 shifts on Saturday. We're bowling at 10, 12, and then we're gonna re-oil and bowl at 3 and 5. And then on Sunday, we're going to bowl at 11, 1, and then we're going to re-oil and bowl at 4. So I didn't feel like Sunday. I feel like with church and other stuff, I didn't want to start at 10 and run 4 shifts, and I didn't want to start at 11 and run 4 shifts. So I ended up settling on 3 shifts on Sunday, and it is what it is. Maybe I'll regret it and wish I had a 4th shift on that Sunday. But I contacted Ralph Solan at Storm. He's my rep, and I wanted to do this, and I told him what I wanted to do, and I asked if he could help us out, and he helped us out with some bowling balls. And so we're going to raffle off 1 ball every single shift just for participating. You don't have to pay $1. I mean, you have to pay $60 to bowl the tournament or $30 each, but like you don't have to pay $1 to get this raffle ticket. I'm going to give everybody a raffle ticket that bowls, and they're going to have a 1 in 30 chance or a 1 in 50 chance. It really just depends on how many people show up that shift. And so you got a chance to win 7 different bowling balls for participating in the tournament. That's it. And so the name came from so I was trying to think of a catchy name. Obviously, you want to have a catchy name. And so I was talking to Mike LaCroix about it, and he's the guide towards the name. He said, recently when I was thinking this up, we had just been told we were going to stay in phase 2 for another 4 weeks or whatever. And so he said something about like phase 2, and so then I started thinking, and like later that night or the next day, it came to me that like, the phase 3 is, I appreciate you misspelling my name there, Brian. You're the best.
Summer, whatever that is.
That's not you, Summer. So you're not the
that
best.
Ain't me. He was talking about somebody else. Summer Juno, I guess. So the newer phase is the phase 3. It just came out in like November, I think, end of November. And so obviously we're all waiting on phase 3 to be able to do a little bit more, less distancing in restaurants, more, less skipping lanes on, and so on and so forth. And so it came to me and I said, let's call it Waiting on Phase 3. And it's a perfect name. I sent it to Ralph with Storm, and he said they loved it at Storm. They all thought it was hilarious, perfect. It's very fitting for the time we're in, and it's great. So some other things about the tournament is you want to get people out to bowl, and you want to get, the earlier they get there, the better. And so I decided to do an early bird entry. So if you bowl the first shift on Saturday and the first shift on Sunday, just those two separate shifts, $100. I'm gonna give $100 to whoever's high on those two shifts. You're gonna get it later. You're not gonna get it right away. But the leader on the first shift on Saturday and the leader on the first shift on Sunday is getting $100. So I've done a lot. We're doing a lot. We're not taking any expense out of this tournament. We're gonna pay lineage, and then the rest is going to prize fund. And so, like, this tournament is not about me making money. That's why I'm bowling it also, because I need to make some money. And it's not about me making money. It's about giving the bowlers something to bowl and giving them something they can enjoy. And I think we already have over 40 entries pre-registered. So my prize fund is based on 100 entries. I anticipate getting that easily. I have tons of people that say we're going to bowl 4 shifts on Saturday, but they haven't signed up yet. We take walk-in entries, and it's $30 a person. And so I think it's going to be a hit. Obviously COVID is a problem. East Baton Rouge does have a face mask mandate now. When you're not eating or drinking or actually on the approach bowling, you have to wear a mask. And I think that will affect the entries a little bit. I might lose 5 entries. But everybody knows it. And if they, a mask has become a thing that you're just going to have to learn to deal with, or you're just going to have to stay home. So it is what it is. I'm being upfront about it. All-Star is going to do temperature checks. But other than that, I think it's got the potential to be a great tournament. And it may evolve from here. We may do this more often. Everybody keeps telling me, somebody's like, I can't make this one. When's the next one? I'm like, whoa, let's see if this one flops or, skyrockets first. Like, I need to know what happens before I can plan the next one. I will say, if you want some inside info, I am thinking of doing like a scratch singles maybe in August at All-Star, depending on how this goes, depending on how COVID goes, if we, get shut back down to phase 1 or whatever like that. I know the scratch bowlers want something to bowl. Right now, we're not having the doubles for who knows how long. And so that will be something that we are looking at. So that's
maybe
all.
The doubles inside the singles.
I mean, potentially. Yeah.
Just throwing that out there.
I got you.
Now let me know. I'll be your first entry.
All right. And we have we're going to have handicap and scratch brackets, eliminator, and I think I'm going to do a handicap mystery doubles. I wanted to give everybody something they could bowl, and something they could do, some side stuff. I didn't want to get too much. A lot of people have asked about handicap crossovers. I'm always of the opinion of doing like anything crossover. I think should be separate, because like if you're not actually bowling with the person, I don't really love that you get to be in the same prize fund. And but I just decided that I threw the scratch bowlers a bone. I gave a lot of handicap to the handicap bowlers. I threw the scratch bowlers a bone with the crossover, and so I'm just going to settle on that. I don't want everybody to feel like they bowl one squad and it cost them $120 and they can't afford to bowl another squad. I want them to spend $40 or $50 per squad and bowl twice, bowl 3 times. And like I said, I'm not taking the expense, so it's not doing me any benefit necessarily for them to bowl, but I just want people to be able to bowl.
Yeah, I just want to elaborate on that, just to share my opinion of it, Sumner. And if people don't agree with me, that's fine. But what you talked about with changing it, with making the handicap a little bit bigger and giving the women a bone, as Merlin would say. Look, here's the thing. This is what type of tournament he wants to run. The rules. Now, I hate to be rude about it, but you either bowl it or don't.
Correct.
These types of tournaments that are like this are going to be geared for giving people that are going to need handicap. I shouldn't say need, but you are going to be useful for the handicap. Okay. And it caters to them. And we need that. For those scratch bowlers that think you're going to run only scratch and bowling's going to keep on going on, it won't.
Absolutely.
If you look at scratch tournaments, a lot of them struggle to get entries.
Yeah.
So you look at the BR. The BR is the perfect example. Before I moved here, I've never seen anything like the BR. The BR is very impressive how they pull that off, and it's a handicap tournament, and a lot of times handicap bowlers win it. And then I've always said, when you get a handicap bowler win that thing, it's great for entries because it lets people know that, hey, everyone has a chance.
I have a real chance.
So
that's all everybody wants.
Bottom line, there's going to be scratch sweepers. Bowl them. That's fine. You know how this format is. You either want to bowl.
It's a handicap.
Yeah. So, but I personally appreciate you putting something together. I think it's an awesome idea. I do encourage, handy bowlers that are needing the handicap to show up, hey, if you beat me, one of the funniest things is when a guy that comes in, and I know that there are some cases where something's a little questionable, but most of the time, like if a guy comes in, he's averaging 180, or a girl comes in with 180, 190, and they shoot 750, everybody says, oh, stand back. Well, maybe they just had a great day. If they had a great day and it's a handicap tournament, they deserve to win.
Yeah.
Plain and simple.
I mean, if the scratch bowler has a great day, they might win too, or they probably will win too,
Right.
But nobody gets on them about that,
Right. So anyway, I think it's great. It's a great idea that you're doing. And, you can always play with different formats. Maybe you'll run one like this time, run one a different way another time, and then go back to this type of format another time or whatever. So,
yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not married to anything. And I need to have this happen before I can figure out what works and what doesn't work, before I can figure out what my next tournament is. I got to I got to figure out if this works, if this format works, if people show up. And then people may show up right now because there's nothing else to bowl. And so I could run another one of these and, unrelated to COVID, and, nobody show up. Who knows? Nobody knows. This, everything is different right now. The time is different, and so you just got to do it. And if people show up, great. I want them to show up. I want to, like I said, give them something to bowl, and hopefully they'll come bowl it because they want to bowl. And if they're not comfortable with, COVID and all that, I understand. Stay home. That's fine. Like I said, I'm being precautious. I'm going to wear a mask the entire time I'm there. I bowl in the mask. And so it's something I'm used to now, but I'm not expecting anybody else to, everybody else to do that themselves. But I want everybody to be safe and, as healthy as they can be,
So, Munch, we got some questions I wouldn't mind addressing. I'm going to start where I see at the top here. First of all, I don't want to miss this one. Justin Veach. We also need another live feed of Sumner and Chad racing this weekend. I'm just curious if you're down for that, because
my hamstring. I'm down, but my hamstring.
Yeah, that was
Chad.
Where we was
Chad,
at when y'all had that race.
We were at TJ Ribs. I had just eaten about $30 worth of ribs, and we decided that we were going to race. We had talked about this. Chad swore he could beat me in a race, and he beat me, so I can't deny that. I told him there was no way, because Chad is about the least athletic person in the history of athleticism. And I played baseball, and I'm pretty athletic. I'm a big old boy, and I'm a lot bigger than I was when I was 18. But there was no stretching. Just ate $30 worth of ribs, and about 10 steps in, that hammy locked up, and I was like, I hesitated, and I was like, no, I'm going to push through this. And then about 2 more steps, I was like, no, I'm not pushing through this anymore. And I limped home. And I didn't bowl the next day because that hamstring was hurt. And so we were supposed to rematch this past year, but I said I got to train. I got to get some stretching. There's definitely going to be some stretching involved. But I still think I can beat Chad. But how
your training going?
It's not going well. We didn't race. In January because there was no training between last January and this January. I definitely got the COVID-19. Sitting at home for 2 months.
Ashley Blakey says, I'm going to beat you, Steve. I ain't gonna let that happen, Ashley. I'm just saying. Ain't
What's
gonna
going to beat you in a race or bowling?
she beat me in a race. I promise you that. If you meant that, you are right. I ain't even trying to run. I got
you
one
talking about
foot,
bowling.
and the other foot ain't trying to run. I promise you.
Oh yeah, I can probably beat you, Steve. I couldn't beat Chad that day, but I think I could beat you.
Yeah. So Justin asked the question here. It's an awesome one. You know, it's classic Justin Veach. What if the mask falls off when you release the ball and it goes over the foul line? Is it a foul?
We might need Justin Bowie to answer that one.
Put a good mask on, it won't fall off.
There's rules about if something falls off your body, but I can't remember exactly if it's a foul or not. I think like if you had your glasses like right here and you bowled and it fell off, I think that's a foul.
Hey, Justin Bowie, can you respond to that question?
Steve, you don't remember?
He already answered his own question.
Steve, you don't remember what happened with me with the Fantasy Star, right? When my grip came out.
Yeah.
I don't think a grip is a foul.
You know they didn't honor my 300.
Right.
I don't think a grip is a foul.
Yeah, they gave me a foul.
I think if it's part of the ball, I think it's a piece from the ball, it don't count.
I don't think it's supposed to count if it's
body. I think it counts.
Well, I was secretary. I shot 300, but on the last shot, my finger grip came out. Brand new ball out the box, wasn't glued.
I complained to the secretary.
And I said, man, why I never got nothing for such and such date over there? He said, I had a number of reports that your finger grip come out the ball and went on the lane.
That was on Wednesday night, right?
That was on a Wednesday night.
So I already know who the secretary is. I digress. We'll go into that another night.
I would imagine if a mask fall off, that is definitely a foul.
Yeah. Yeah, the grip is not a foul. He was wrong in that. I didn't know he did that to you.
Yeah.
The grip is not a foul.
No.
That happens
comes out your pocket,
every other night.
Off your face. That is a foul. But
I didn't know no better, and I didn't really pursue it. I didn't really care about it.
I mean,
the other 500, 300 you have, you didn't really miss that one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
So I had another question.
Yes.
This was one I really been wanting to ask. When was it after you met me did you realize I was awesome? Did it take you a while, or did you know right away?
Pretty immediate, I think.
You know, one of the first things I remember when I first met you was at Circle, and I went up to go get in all the pots, and you said I said put me in all of them. You said the clean pot. I said yeah. You said you know what that is? I said well I know what it is. I just don't do it very often. You know.
Yeah.
But one of the other questions I had down is a really good question. How many gutters do you average in one league night?
At least one a night, I think, is a fair average number.
Oh,
yes, he did. I haven't thrown a gutter in a while. I guess since the COVID.
Man, you're due.
Yeah, I'm due, and you probably just jinxed it by bringing it back up. But I release the ball very close to my ankle, and sometimes if I slide a little weird or my hand position gets a little weird, I'll smack it right off that ankle and throw a gutter with the best of them. And I'm definitely probably the highest average person in America that averages more gutters than most.
So Justin Bowie chimed in that USBC ruling is not a foul if your mask falls onto the lane.
I wonder if that's a COVID ruling or if that
because why else would they ever have that in a damn rule book until there's I mean that has to be something they added or something.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I agree. It shouldn't be a foul. Those masks aren't necessarily the greatest, depending on what your mask is. Yeah.
One of the questions Ian Whittick wants to know, Sumner, do you like your Thursday night team or Monday night team better?
This is a loaded question. Yeah.
Wait, no.
Yes, I do. The answer is yes. I enjoy winning money. Monday night, you win a lot more money than Thursday night. My Thursday night team, I enjoy for the most part more because we're able to bowl together. I bowled with some of these guys for 10 years, 12 years, some of them for 3 or 4 years. But there's no average cap, so we're not having to change the team drastically year to year. With the Monday Night League, because my team is always, I'm always coming in right under the cap. We're always going to go over the cap, and so we're always having to change a bowler or two every year. So I enjoy bowling with my friends. On Thursday night, I can bowl with my friends. We do win the league a lot. We have run the league down because we win so much. They have changed all the rules to combat us winning, and then we still won last year. But I bowl with Kenny Winstead on both teams and Ian Wittig on both teams. Those are two of my best friends. Gregory is one of my best friends, and I bowl him on Thursday night. And so my Thursday night team is my favorite team just because a lot of us have bowled together for 10 plus years. So I answered the question.
Thursday it is.
Merlin said it's been in effect since Michael Jackson was bowling.
That's probably
talking about your favorite team brings me to another question. Is there any team moment, league or tournament, that someone let you down on your team that you'd like to just call them out right now on video? Tell them, man, you let me down, man.
Who fed you these questions?
Come on, man.
You're on a boom seat, man. It could blow up in any minute.
I mean, I'm okay with answering these questions. If people know me and if they've ever bowled on a team with me, it's not easy to bowl on a team with me. I'm the captain. Your seat is subject to change every year on my team. Right. I have cut quite a few people. I have mellowed in my age. I probably have some regrets for some cuts I've made through the years. Raymond Hunt, if anyone knows him, came in the pro shop. First time I've seen him in like 5 years. He's one of the people that has been cut off of a team of mine. Mike Carter is another one. These are some of my best friends, and I cut them off teams because their performances fell off. And so, I mean, there's not any one moment where I'm disappointed in a team. Teammate, maybe Gregory Snee. I wasn't actually there. I was out of town, but we bowled in the playoffs last year, and Gregory was, thought we were mathematically eliminated with 2 bowlers to go, and didn't want to bowl the 10th frame, and he almost got murdered by the rest of the teammates. And he came back and got his 9 spare 9 and let Bowie strike out in the 10th to win by 1 single pin, and that got us to the finals. And I came back the next week, and I carried the team to the win. But one of my fewest disappointments in myself as a team. So on Thursday night, we've made the finals probably – I've been in that league probably 18, 19 years. I've made the finals probably 11 years or something. But anyway, one year we lost by 50 pins, and I bowled a 550. So, this is like 5 years ago. So, I was a 230 average bowler, and I bowled a 550, and we lost by 50. I put the, blame at my doorstep. I'll take all the blame. And that was disappointing to let your teammates down, especially at bowling 40 weeks together and you poop the bed. And
that stuff sticks with you.
Huh?
That stuff sticks with you, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. But it happens. Teammates, it is true I broke someone's toe on my team.
Would you care to elaborate on that?
I broke Kim Springfield's toe. We weren't. Oh, no, she was my teammate. Oh. She was my teammate, but we weren't. It was that Mother's Day tournament at All Star. It was, just a singles thing, and I'd gotten all the brackets. So it's a pins over average thing. So like a high average person has to like shoot 800 or they got no chance. And so I'd gotten all the brackets, and right away I wasn't bowling well enough to shoot 800. But so then all my hopes and dreams were relying on brackets. And like the 9th frame of the first game, I threw a huge split where at that point I can only shoot like 192 or 212 or whatever it was. And so I was aggravated. And I go to the back. I decided I was going to change balls at that time. And I go to the back and I take my ball and I just drop it on the plastic chair at All-Star. Well, it boomerangs like a trampoline. And Kim was standing behind the chair, turned around talking to someone, so she never saw it coming. And it bounced over the chair and landed right on her foot and actually broke her toe. Her toe was purple. She had to withdraw from the tournament. Her toe was purple the next day. And the playoffs, the league started in like 2 weeks. And luckily she healed up, and we actually won the league that year on Monday night when it was 2,000 a man for first place. So I did break my teammate's toe, and I feel terrible about it. And she reminds me of it. She's forgiven me, I think. I try not to do stupid stuff.
Now that it's been brought
I think
back
I've
up.
learned my lesson.
Now that it's been brought back up, she might be still mad at you.
Yeah, probably. When it used to have the bigger bowling ball bags, not the totes that had all the plastic in them, my favorite pastime when I bowled bad was I would take my bowling ball and I would slam it down in the hard plastic, and it would bounce right back up to me. And I'd catch it and I'd slam it down again and bounce up, and I'd do it 3 or 4 times. Exactly. I'd do it 3 or 4 times before I felt like I'd gotten rid of enough tension.
Man, that sounds like you got a little bit of a temper.
Maybe.
Do you feel like you have a bad temper in comparison to some others? Have you ever seen anybody else lose their temper?
Man, maybe 1 or 2 people, maybe a guy named Beach in New Orleans probably beat me in the temper category by a little bit, by a hair. As many bowling balls as I bring in the bowling alley is how many temper tantrums he has per tournament.
Oh, Justin said you're worse than him.
Oh yeah, sure.
Do you remember the time you sat in the arcade by yourself?
Absolutely. Last year on Monday night, I was shooting about 190 across, and my team was frustrating me, and I was frustrating me, and so I took my chair and I went and sat in the back. There's a picture of me sitting in the back by the arcades. So
there's my niece is on here commenting, and for those of you that don't know her, it's Amanda Berger Murray there. So in case you wonder why she's saying Charlie, so that now you all can have some fun with that, because nobody calls me other than my family, my close family. She says, who else has a bit of a temper? I probably had a little one when I was younger. I really don't now. I'm sure you remember that, Amanda, but I do okay now. I'm able to control it, let's put it that way. The temper's still there, but I don't throw anything. I don't kick stuff, mainly because it hurts, and I don't really want to deal with that. I learned that a long time ago. I don't want to hurt myself. I'm already hurting mentally. I don't want to hurt physically. So
she said, what about the times your mom used to pull you out?
Your
attitude.
My mom, there was no bluffing in my mom. You know, if you ever meet a woman that likes to threaten her kid and warn them, I didn't get that. Mom said something one time, and there's no bluff. You better do what you just told, because it's about to go south if you don't. Maybe one of these days we'll go over with that. But yeah. No, I don't. I think I stayed away from getting too bad with my temper because of her. So I give her that credit. Because I knew better. If I threw a tantrum when I was a kid, I
wasn't going to be bowling.
It wasn't going to be good.
You're right.
So, thankfully, that my mom made sure of that at a young age, so I didn't go too bad. I have seen some good ones though, And one of my favorites is Justin Veach, since you brought him up. I got to say it. I can't help it. Broke the whole scoring thing. I've seen people break a score where like it split and maybe a piece came off. No. One fell swoop, one time, bang, and the whole thing that you're supposed to type your name off fell off. Not broke it in half.
1,500.
Money gone.
I'm sure
Money gone.
I'm sure Haley don't want to relive that, but I don't know if I laughed so hard ever at a bowling alley when he did that. I don't know if I was supposed to, but that was pretty funny.
If people don't know Justin Beach, they think he's an asshole. But like off the lanes, away from the bowling alley, Justin Beach is a pretty good dude.
He is.
But he is a sore loser.
Yes.
And he takes it out on anything he can see, break, touch, and that is a problem and that he has. But like
he says,
in general, he's a good guy.
$695, what he said it cost.
Oh, okay. I heard like 1,100, 1,500.
He said,
it wasn't that bad because it's not one of those big screens. It was just a touchpad. So that's all right. He probably made that much next night in the league.
I think he didn't have to replace the whole stand. He just had to replace the
top part.
Yeah, the top part. So that's what saved
broke
him.
it all the way off. Just broke in half.
I mean, still money gone.
Look how many people just agreed with us on this. Look, everybody. Man, Beach. Dang.
I don't think anybody doesn't think Justin Beach is.
Colonial 1,400.
Colonial was 1,400. Yeah. I knew one of them cost.
It's bad.
You should probably not know these numbers, Justin Beach.
Both bowling alleys he bowls at, he knows what the scoring machine costs.
Because he's paid for one. They're $1,000 at Premier if you want to come to Premier and break an iPad.
He's probably going to make his way over there.
Good thing they don't have any tournaments over there. Save them $1,000.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what, I don't know if you've got any more questions, Munch. I do want to make sure that all joking aside, we tease and I've said this in our other past interviews. I don't think you become friends until you can tease each other. So that's what I'm doing. I'm teasing you. I consider you a friend, and I'm glad we met, moved down here. You've made bowling more enjoyable for me in Louisiana. So I appreciate that. Keep up the good work.
I'm glad to have met you. I enjoy our breakfasts at Frank's whenever we're bowling in Baton Rouge with Michelle.
Good food.
Michelle getting her ice. No fucks given.
It's all right. Right.
I don't even know if she knows where she's at right now. You know where you're at?
But I've known Munch a long time. I bowled all of the SIBC stuff for many, many years. I think I've won the Anchor Lady 3 times, maybe 4. I bowled that for a long time. I bowled it when it was at All-Star the first time, and then Metro, and then Circle, and then AMF, and then back to All-Star, and then back to AMF. So I've known Munch a long time, and like I said, I have a great memory of bowling straight up against Munch. I don't have a lot of great memories of bowling straight up against Berger because we just haven't crossed paths that way yet. But eventually I'll beat you in the finals of the BR or something.
It's coming.
Defending champ.
That's right. It's coming. I'm going for the
reason. Say something, man. I look at you as a brother. Your mom, your dad, consider y'all family.
Absolutely.
I appreciate, everything you do. And I know if I ever need something, I can call you. You're just a great guy, man. And I love having you as a friend. And I'm glad you came on. And
I appreciate it. Thank y'all for having me. I appreciate y'all letting me talk about my tournament. Like I said, it's my tournament, but like it's for the bowlers. I want everybody to be happy. If you got a problem, come up and talk to me and we'll try to fix it. And I hope we have a good time, and I think we will. And I look forward to it. I'm excited. I'm ready for it.
Go ahead.
It's this Saturday and Sunday. Like I said, Saturday 10 a.m., 12 p.m. Real 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and then on Sunday 11 and 1, and then Real and 4 p.m. So
yeah, I'll be there Saturday and Sunday, and if you need any help, don't be afraid to ask. You know, I'm more than willing to help you out. All you do for SIBC with participation and everything. So me and Ash definitely coming out Saturday and Sunday. So count on those entries. I'm looking for all females, for all the females out there. If you have an open slot,
100% 230.
Book me, baby.
Oh, we got all the hearts. Beach is throwing the hearts at you.
I love you too, Beachy.
That's right. That's a lot of hearts, man. That brings up a couple other questions I won't get into now. We're gonna talk about this. That's a lot of hearts. All right, man. Well, thank you.
I'm a good looking guy, so I don't blame.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
I'll see you this weekend.
You got it.
All right, time for the old wrap 'em up. Man, I think that really went well. Everybody pretty much knows Sumner Till. He's a swell guy. Definitely for the bowler. If you need a ball drilled, I'm more than sure he can help you with that. A storm ball. Have any questions about a storm ball, you can contact him at Hole in the Ball. I want him to give his address, but it's in Gonzales, Louisiana, at Premier Lanes. You can reach out to him, and
you can also find him on Facebook, Hole in the Ball Pro Shop. Message you there.
Probably, I don't know if he's on IG, but yeah, man, you know, reach out to him. I'm sure he would help you with anything you need. And anybody have any questions? I wanted to cover this too. We have our first sponsor is Stitches and Dye Oh My. So we're gonna probably start doing some trivia questions, and anybody who get it right can get a custom T-shirt or something from that company. And we probably do our initial one on our next interview. We have some people lined up. We just got to get some times and the dates sealed, and we'll, announce it or whatever. We'd like to thank y'all for tuning in, and appreciate y'all. And anybody who need, don't feel free to reach out if you need to advertise something or get some information out to this little platform we have. We'll be more than willing. And Steve, you have something in closing?
I'd just like to say, we do this on Boom Bowling here, the chats, not only to give people a chance to know other sides of people and stuff like that, but also to promote bowling. Boom Bowling was made initially not only for the fun of it, but also to promote bowling. It needs all the help. Bowling, everybody knows about bowling. I mean, it needs help promoting it and getting people going, and that's what we're doing. We're trying to get people here that are doing things for the bowling and give them a chance to get out there and talk to other people. We're trying to help them have a platform to be able to do that. So, next interview we got up, we'll try to advertise that, give you guys a heads up, and hopefully you can join us, ask some questions, have some fun. We do like to tease some of our guests, especially the ones we know a little bit better. So, we try to have some fun with that too. So thank you for showing up. Appreciate it.
All right, Sumner, we love you, man. I'll see you this weekend.
Boom out.
No.
What you doing, man?
Oh,
yeah, the broadcast.
I was back.
Yeah, I cut it off. It's not live. That's how you kind of can do your preliminary stuff, go over some things. I wanted to do that with you, but you were running late.
I'm not late.
Yeah.
If I'm not late.
Because we're gonna ask you what questions you wanted to get out there, kind of cover things. But
I think it went well.
Oh yeah.
Obviously I didn't watch it, but
I thought I ended it. I didn't end the broadcast, so we was live.